Good morning, family. Let's talk. Let's have a talk. I think it's time. So I've been on YouTube since 2017. I started out with another channel. I changed the channel name quite a few years ago, but it used to be called Loved by the King. And then I took my channel down for a break. And I just spent several months just reassessing and in prayer, and I felt like the Lord was taking me, in the channel another direction. And quite frankly, I was just kind of tired of all the stuff that was going on. And at that time, I was mainly in most of the channels, and I think most of us at that time were listening to a lot of the rapture watching community and all the dream channels that had all the rapture dreams and stuff like that. And it took a while to realize what a toxic environment it was. And I might reshare a video I made several years ago, if I can find it on here, warning about all the gospel compromise, and idolatry, and divination and things like that that are promoted in the rapture watching community. I've also made videos about what actual biblical watchfulness and wakefulness is regarding our spiritual lives and the rapture and things like that. And it's not how they're defining it. There are no watchmen in this sense for the church of the way that they're defining it. Not at all. And they use scripture very wrongly and out of context to support it. But if there are any sound, uncompromising rapture watching channels, I haven't found them yet. There's a lot of sensationalism and compromise and all sorts of very unhealthy things that go on there. And I know, because I was more deeply entrenched in all of that for a while, until I realized that I needed to come out of that, and I needed to just cling to Christ and keep my eyes on him and having his provision today, and to know him now, which is how we're watchful and ready, and to be sober, because they really are drunk. They are very spiritually drunk, drinking really Jezebel's mixture for the most part on those channels. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, and you're just kind of new to it, eventually you'll see it. But you really see it more if you actually have a channel with content, and you see more behind the scenes, the kind of stuff that goes on. Anyway, this latest thing is nothing new. When I don't know if y'all remember Dana Coverstone. He came out several years back, and the whole Christian YouTube community was gaga over this guy. And they were all having confirmations of everything he said. They were having dreams. They were having confirmations, and they were standing up for him. And I put out a warning video, and I said, no, this guy doesn't even have the gospel. He doesn't have the right gospel. He has another gospel. It's leavened and it's wrong. And people got angry at me. One of the people that got very angry at me and tried to basically rip me a new one was, at the time, his channel name was Morris Blackburn. His actual name is Michael, and now his channel name is Medic for Christ. He really stuck his neck out for Dana Coverstone. The guy, of course, turned out to be false. And I believe Michael apologized, the Medic for Christ. He has always been easily deceived. He And now he's touting himself. He's misrepresenting himself as some sort of super serious, discerning person. And he is backing up this Michael guy who supposedly Jesus, appeared to him and gave him the date of the rapture. And he's supposed to tell the world. Well, Michael is saying, Medic for Christ, that he believes he was chosen before the foundation of the world. Michael himself, this is his testimony of himself. He is chosen before the foundation of the world to be a type of Zerubbabel, or however you pronounce his name, and carry the signet ring for this prophet Joshua. Okay, I've been through the rounds with this Michael, and let me tell you, he is the farthest thing from serious and discerning you will ever find. He's lying. He's a liar. He's manipulative. He will stab you in the back. He'll kiss up to you and stab you in the back. He will, not to me, but other people I've seen do personally. I mean, he didn't kiss up to me is what I'm saying, because I never put up with any. I don't suffer fools, and I don't let people flatter me. I can see what they're up to, but some friends of mine, he supported that. Dana stuck his neck out for that guy. And he's saying that he's never done anything like this before, ever. Yeah, right. There was a lady, I can't remember her channel name right now. She's probably still around, big channel, that's supposedly teaching on the rapture. And she was teaching that many, if not most, Christians will be left behind, but they'll get their stuff together and be purified in the tribulation. And, we're talking about gospel-believing Christians being left behind and Jesus bringing them later, maybe after they've learned their lesson or done their works to earn it. And he was on her channel, schmoozing up to her, believing her lies. He's a fruit inspector. I remember back in the day, years ago, Chad, Watchman on the Wall 88, I think was his channel name. He was a rapture watcher that he'd share the gospel, and it seemed to be right. But one day, he always had, this is the thing, this is the mixture I'm talking about, the unhealthy mixture. Probably 90% of his subs were just rapture watchers, and they had the wrong gospel. But they felt comfortable on his channel. Why was that? Because he was ambiguous about what he actually believed. He came up with a video called Counterfeit Christianity and gave a list of all these ways to know if you're a counterfeit Christian, and none of them had to do with believing the gospel or not. And me and some other people made videos about that, because he was just accepted in, the grace community on channels and YouTube. And that caused quite the rift. People jumped up in the rapture watching community to defend him. He had a big hissy baby fit, and a bunch of his subs who didn't even believe the gospel were coming over to. I remember Jewel had made a video, the first video about that. Little tiny channel, and she's going through a hard time in her life. Her husband has cancer. They come over there and just tearing her up and down, and he sent them on the attack against her. And here he had thousands and thousands and thousands of subs. Anyway, guess who stuck their neck out for Chad at the time? Yeah, Michael, this Medic for Christ guy. And why? Because he's a fruit inspector too. He agreed with his video. Well, all I'm going to say about this is that we should know better by now, saints, that Joshua doesn't have the right gospel. And not only that, Jesus is not giving the rapture date to one man, to some man, and confirming it. There's always confirmations. Don't fall for it. All right, I got work to do. I got to go. Love y'all.